entry was denied for a group of South Korean businessmen looking to visit their factories at the Gaeseong Industrial Complex.
For more, we have our Unification Ministry Correspondent Hwang Sung-hee live on the line.
Hello, Sung-hee. What's the latest?
Gaeseong, as of now, the businessmen are still...
Foreign Ministry Correspondent Hwang Sung-hee brought us the latest in shaky inter-Korean relations on Wednesday as the North Korean government denied entry to South Korean businessmen trying to deliver food and medical supplies to their employees still inside the halted Gaeseong Industrial Complex. Sung-hee connected with Arirang News live at the Inter-Korean Transit Office.
Hwang Sung-hee, Arirang News, Paju.
Of black nylon and metal fragments from
Many were shocked to hear the news of the Boston Marathon bombings that killed 3 and injured some 170, while the U.S. President Barack Obama condemned the attacks as an act of terrorism. Reporter Hwang Ji-hye delivered this story following the FBI's briefing that revealed pressure cookers were used in the blasts, and detailed investigations were currently underway to closely examine the debris left from the bombings.
was found.
South Korea has become the 11th...
Reporter Song Ji-sun prepared a special report about the Naro-1 rocket just in time for Korea's Science Day on April 21st. This past January 30th, South Korea successfully launched the country's first and the world's 11th space carrier. After 2 weeks of touring the country, Ji-sun shares her story of all the hard work behind the blast-off and the country's preparations for future outer space projects on Arirang News and Korea Today. This is the newly renovated Primetime News studio.
Resume once North Korea has a strong enough deterrence against its aggressors. The statement came in response to U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's. Okay, in Washington, negotiators from South Korea and the United States began talks over revising a bilateral nuclear accord.
Already a year has passed since Ji-hye and I have co-anchored Primetime News.
Was over as the lapses and other allegations are all behind her now. Face tough challenges adjusting to life in Korea, a discrimination and domestic abuse problem.
Including Queen Elizabeth. Thatcher's coffin was driven from...
Well, that brings us to the end of our newscast. Thanks for watching. I'm Hwang Ji-hye in Seoul.
And I'm Sean Lim. Join us again tomorrow. Have a great night. Today, Primetime News anchor Hwang Ji-hye is the main lead. The In the Newsroom crew followed her around for 4 days since Sunday to cover her in-depth story.
I don't think I've ever been completely satisfied with my performance. So, I mean, there's still a long way to go. I have a huge room for improvement. But, you know, I think it's that hunger for more that's really driving me. And that's why I really love this job.
Because of my love, 시간이 가도 내 기억 속에 눈부신 네가 바보 같은 내가.
There's a lot to gain being a news anchor, but much to lose as well.
I'm used to the late night shift, and I'm used to working on holidays, surprisingly. But I really do miss my social life. I miss, you know, spending time with my friends, you know, the dinner parties or the movie nights like that. But I tend not to think about it too much. I try.
Last weekend, Ji-hye was told the news studio will undergo renovations. This is the first change in a year.
Wow. A lot going on here. 안녕하세요. 여기에 앉는구나.
Wow. A very exciting day, very exciting. That's what it is. There's a huge difference between the two. Yeah.
요즘 조금 낮춰줘 보세요. 조금만 올려줘.
Bloopers continued during the rehearsal.
네. Do we need to put our stuff on? No? 저기요? 네.
She should be tired, but like a professional, Ji-hye chooses to keep her cool instead of being bogged down.
A South Korean government source says Pyongyang appears to have halted for now.
Yep, it's you.
카메라가 불이 안 들어오네.
이거를 보면 돼요?
다음에 원샷이면 어떻게 어느 뭐 이걸 보고 하는 건가?
잡아줘 볼게 한번 봐봐요.
퀴즈 주시냐고요?
그냥 시작할 수 있어요. 퀴즈예요.
Pyongyang has raised a critical voice for Seoul and Washington's choice efforts.
Well, it didn't come as a surprise. I guess Sean and I knew it was going to take some time to get used to the new system of things. We were trying new things out, the new angles, new lighting, new sets. Yeah, I mean, there's bound to be some hiccups along the way. So it was all about good communication and lots of patience.
After last night's late-night rehearsal, it's the first day of Arirang News' spring reshuffle. Ji-hye, as usual, is busy checking the news. She's preparing for the Arirang TV News Production Center's daily news lineup meeting at 2:30 p.m.
오늘 태양절 설명은 조금 했나?
태양절 설명도
황성이가 하지 않아요?
크게는 아직은 나온 게 많이 없어서 한 대는 업데이트를 아마 하겠죠? 뭔가 더 나오겠지?
카라콜 TV에서 이거 뭐 베네수엘라 이거 보낸다고
네.
저 지선 씨한테 들었는데 근데 오늘 국방부에서 뭐가 나오려나? 중국 AI 이거 하나 해야 되지 않을까요?
이거 패키지로 안 돼 있어?
비롤로 돼 있던데요?
해도 될 것 같아요.
그러니까 오늘
She has never missed one of these daily afternoon news lineup meetings.
아니 뭐 매일 하는 건 아니고.
그렇죠. 많이 하면 안 되지.
선거 있다.
It's a very important part of the day, I think. I wouldn't miss it because to be there, I can actually listen to what other reporters are thinking, what stories will be on, what stories have been killed. And it's an arena where we can actually communicate. 그러면 요놈 두 개하고 중국 얘기 다음에 마주로 갈까요? 그럼 붙긴 붙어요. 그럼 이따가 22시간 같이 싸우시겠습니다.
As a primetime news anchor, Ji-hye needs to work with a lot of people, including myself. She has to talk to our producers about the news lineup, discuss ideas with me, and also assign stories to junior reporters.
네가 쓴 그 패키지는 그러니까 어제 얘기를 갖다 좀 더 풀어 쓴 거지? 이거 딴 데서 어디 받아서 쓴 거 있어? 얘네? 뭔데? 어디 보자. 경제민주화 무리한 건 아닌지 걱정. Okay, however, the South Korean government is keeping a close watch on the as there is always a possible. 거기 붙여주면 되겠다. I think everyone has an inevitable thirst for perfection, and I think I'm one of them because I can be a bit too pushy or too persistent sometimes. I ask a lot of questions to my producers, our assistant directors, our reporters, you know, how things are going, is that ready, what's up next, why isn't this working? And it can drive, you know, some of my colleagues up the wall sometimes, but, you know, it's about news. Anything can happen on air, on live television, so try to be as much as prepared as it could be so that we can deliver the best we can.
And demanded that they be given more job opportunities. Our presidential correspondent
Ji-hye was able to become the primetime news anchor she is today thanks to the 3 challenging years as the correspondent at various ministries.
To fly to Copenhagen, Denmark on Wednesday. Hwang Ji-hye, Arirang News.
I was one of the youngest member of the press corps and was one of very few female reporters there, so it was quite a challenging experience. But at the same time, if I think back, I've learned how to, open my eyes and ears, and also an ability to probe into the meaning of things. Had a widened my spectrum of knowledge, my personal network with people. So it helped me in a great deal as a reporter. Not only that, but as an anchor as well.
While most are out for dinner at 7 p.m., this is Ji-hye's peak time to finish her anchor news leads.
잠깐만, 이거 대선을 먼저 봐야 되나? 어떻게 해야 되나? 안 따라오면 못 올리는 거예요? 괜찮아요? 23분인데? 네, 괜찮아요. 네.
All the news preparations are done just in time.
We begin this evening in North Korea. We begin this evening with North Korea, which is celebrating the 101st birthday of the country's late founder, Kim Il-sung, today.
안녕하세요.
Tensions still persist in the Korean peninsula as North Korea.
Ji-hye is on her own for the 8 p.m. news. She's solely responsible for the 25 minutes of the program.
Good evening and welcome to Arirang News live from Seoul. I am Hwang Ji-hye. In order to celebrate, Hwang Sung-hee has our top story.
Many unexpected things happen during a live show, and today's no exception. This time, the tangled mic wires are to blame. With a few seconds to go, Ji-hye tells the staff to exit just in time to start the interview.
Because of that, I might jeopardize my relationship with my colleagues, and they might get hurt because of what I say. But I think that's what it's like to be professional. We're in this arena where we're dealing with live news and something that live news here. So it's a constant battle every day, but it's worth it.
오, 4, 3, 2, 1, 완성.
A story is making headlines this hour amid continuing tensions over in Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro, the late leader Hugo Chavez's handpicked successor. Good evening and welcome to Primetime News live from Seoul. I am Hwang Ji-hye.
And I'm Sean Lim. Hope your week is off to a great start on this Monday, April 15th. New week, new set. Thank you for joining us.
The staff is calmly playing each individual part, just like during the rehearsal. Everything from the Chinese avian influenza story to the Venezuelan presidential election report, Primetime News once again delivered global news for its worldwide audience. And in the midst of it all stands Arirang News' pride and prime, anchor Hwang Ji-hye.
And that brings us to the end of our newscast. Thanks for watching. I'm Hwang Ji-hye in Seoul.
And I'm Sean Lim. Join us again tomorrow and have a great night.
Arirang TV News Production Center's in-depth discussion program After 10 cast a very special guest this week.
Right.
Yeah, because I saw you in the session, a reminder to vote on the 19th. I thought actually we could combine 3 and 4 because they're somewhat similar. Just you're meeting with a lot of local residents. What concerns do they have?
Making things harder, the team needs to arrange the interview on the spot. Today's interviewee is An Chol-soo, who is responsible for the An Chol-soo syndrome in the last presidential elections. After 5 months since he stepped down from that competition, he is now back as a National Assembly candidate.
안철수 당장.
건전지 하나 드릴 테니까.
이렇게 해서 이렇게. 아, 마이크는 저희 다 있어요. 네. 해야 되고.
An in-studio interview was the first choice, but that fell through as An was too busy ahead of the April 24th by-elections.
윤태곤 실장을 맡아서 우리한테 절대 접근 못하고 방해하지 못하도록 누구냐면 저기 까만 옷 입고 잠바 입고 보좌관 같은 저 사람이니까
그런 것 같아요.
우리나라 교육이 이래도 되는 건가 그런 생각들을 이제 하고 왔는데요. 상계동 위해서 열심히 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
끝난 거죠. 갈게요, 정 작가. 붙을게요.
너무 많이 가면 단영하고 교차가 되니까 여기서부터
네, 19, 20 먼저 투표하세요라는
좋습니다. 방식이 달라져서 이번 재보선에 처음 도입이 되는 것이 여러분들이 고심하신 끝에 바로 그분들이 투표를 잘 못하실 그런 부분들이 있기 때문에 민주주의에서 투표가 제일 중요하지 않습니까?
So just go with the normal plan. That's what I've got.
그런 부분들 열심히 홍보도 하고 있습니다.
이동하실 때 스카 좀 붙여. 스카 가서 이동할 때 빨리 가. 빨리 가 그냥.
반갑습니다. What are your plans today on the campaign trail?
우선 여러분들 이제 만나 뵙기도 하고 이제 노원 집중 콘서트도 있고 그리고 또 상황을 잘 모르지 않느냐 그런 걱정들을 많이 하시고 저는 저 나름대로 열심히.
I wonder if this parliamentary by-election process is the first step in that process.
우선 저는 이제 작년에 대통령 선거를 나갔었기는 했지만 지금 현재 제 입장은 정치 신인이 처음 현실 정치에 몸을 던진다는 각오로 이제 그 일들을 시작하려고 합니다. 그 한 사람 한 사람과의 스킨십이 더 중요한 것 같습니다.
닥터 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
최대한 안철수가 거기서 마이크 잡고 하는 얘기를 우리가 많이 쓸 거거든. 명하고 진열비하고 둘이 좀 이렇게 잘 조율을 해서 나눠서 해야 될 것 같고.
진행하는 청춘 콘서트가 진행될 예정이 있습니다. 빨리 자리해 주시면
Will he be able to continue his An Chol-soo syndrome in the by-elections?
안철수 후보 출마 어떻게 생각하냐고. 안철수 후보 뽑으실 거예요? 아니요. 그러면 왜요? 뭐 이런 식으로 질문을 갈게요.
안녕하세요. 저 아리랑 TV.
The After 10 staff decided to hear what the residents had to say about An Chol-soo before the main interview.
네, 1부부터 왜 진짜하고 계신지.
이쪽이 더 낫다고 카메라 앵글이. 햇볕 때문에요.
그런 이렇게 많은 분들 만나 뵈면서 저는 처음엔 어색했는데요. 지금은 이제 그 감정이 저는 따뜻함으로 바뀌었어요.
평소부터 제가 많이 존경해왔어요. 그 학생들과 청년들을 위해서 어떤 일을 해주실 수 있는지 궁금합니다.
여러 가지 시도들을 많이 해보라고 저는 말씀드리고 싶어요.
그 선입관으로 이건 나한테 안 맞아. 이거는 내가 잘 하고 싶어. 이렇게 나누는 그런 그 생각들을 다들 하실 텐데요. 사실 그렇지가 않은 거죠. 부모님들이 또는 청소년들이 또 이제 그 자기가 자신에게 또는 부모님이 그 기르는 아이들에게 줄 수 있는 가장 큰 선물은 그 아이에게 기회를 주는 거예요. 자기가 어떤 사람인지를 발견할 수 있는 기회.
curious about your vision, your goal for this new era of politics.
그러니까 새로운 정치에 대해서 어떤 비전을 가지고 있고 그게 이제 어떻게 뭐 바꿀 수 있는지에 대한 그런.
저도 이 얘기 같았어요. 그러니까 제가 가진 비전은 새 정치죠.
Time flew by and the Street Talk interview came to an end. The team wasted no time and followed on to his next appointment.
정치권에 관계된 활동도 하셨던 걸로 알고 있는데, 예, 뭐 특별하게 그런 정치권에 관계된 활동.
After 10 is shooting for an in-depth interview with Han, so wherever the candidate goes, the program crew follows.
8%라고 해도 어마어마한 건데 대기업이 그러면 11%. 하실 수 있으면 따라해 보십시오.
After 10 meets On once again. Will the candidate say yes to the team's relentless efforts for an interview?
Dr. On's okay?
Good, okay, I think.
Okay. So.
Just say like slowly and like clearly.
고용 문제, 그리고 일자리 문제, 복지 문제. 일을 해본 분야와 많이 일치합니다. 그런 경험을 잘 살려서 이곳 노원에서 상계동에서
많은 분들이
Hard work paid off. An gave the green light for an in-depth interview with After 10.
Dr. Hwang, thank you very much for taking time to speak with us. You may be thinking about joining the Minjudang, the Democratic United Party. What is your response to all of those rumors that are floating around?
예, 뭐 저기 당선된 다음에 민주당 입당 가능성에 대해서 물어보신 건데 외국분이 그것까지 아시나 좀 의외이긴 합니다만 여력이 부족합니다. 사실은 당선된 이후에 어떻게 할 거냐에 대해서는 사실은 죄송하지만 생각해 볼 만한 그런 여력이 부족한 형편이고요. 저한테 그렇게 많은 관심을 주시는 것이 사실은 기대를 많이 하신다는 걸로 받아들이고 더 열심히 최선을 다해서 잘해야 되겠다. 그런 각오 계속 가지고 있습니다. 절대 실망시켜드리지 않겠습니다.
An Chol-soo is adventuring out for something new this upcoming by-election. Likewise, After 10 gained a valuable experience with the program's first outdoor interview.